ready to ride the frequency?
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition, Right in the Frequency with Lady Liane. How you doing?
I'm all right. Like I feel like my communication skills, hi Trista, my communication skills sort of fried because this 5 p.m. that I was throwing around in all of the texts never had any Eastern Standard Time after it. So it's possible, maybe. What's up, Nigel? What's up, Little Twisted?
Yeah.
It may be that our guest is not happening. Oh, completely sober and still messed up the time somehow, Miss Liane. No, I mean, I didn't mess it up. I just didn't put S after it. So maybe he'll wander in. What do I know? We can still talk about orbs, though. I can still embarrass myself publicly. It'll be great. Except now there'll be nobody to validate anything. That's okay, because I think next week we actually have people coming on who can also validate and discuss orbs. But I'm scared to say who, because if something goes south again, like geese, it all went south. Hopefully not for the whole winter. Yeah. So no, seriously. Science Bob McGuire and his lovely friend Lala Bright, who are constantly documenting orbs. So anybody who thinks it's dust, that's okay. You can think that. I don't. I was told by Clive that the CIA has papers, and he's got them somewhere because he does a lot of research for his it does crisscrossing time, which doesn't really exist anyway. Anyway, but Lala, I mean, Chris, you've seen
Yeah.
Right.
Fantastic footage.
What does she do? What does Lala Bright do with her orbs? That sounded.
She goes her hand and makes them move, and they just follow her direction. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, and stop it. It's the Liane Curtis Comedy Hour. Cha cha cha. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, so hi. Wow, look at that. My cuts are getting good. How vain. What a shock. Actress only child and vanity. Like, those don't all three go together ever.
Yeah.
So orbs, man. So the CIA, and I may be misquoting Clive, but I thought I heard him. I think I remember him writing down in a Facebook message that the CIA has decided that it's us after we pass away and have no body and still want to hang around and don't project into some kind of holographic form. It's just the orbs just flying around. They actually told me to point my camera outside. So I did. I took this little thing. It's shaped like a minion, and it turns around. It's a motion sensor camera, yeah, but I've got it. I mean, orbs aren't actual physical motion, so it doesn't turn around and try to follow them, thank God.
Right. Don't track them.
Yeah, it doesn't track them. That's correct. But it's a pretty nifty thing. So what I did was got this like super, like the duct tape, and hi, Roger. And I taped it to the air conditioner and prayed that it wouldn't be like a high wind evening. Watching my little minion go fly up 93rd Street is probably not the thing. I don't like doing things like that. It's not like when I was 15 and used to purposely drop water balloons out the 15th story window.
That's funny.
It's only funny because I didn't kill anybody. Don't do it at home. Don't. Don't. If you're going to revert back to behavior, let it be like prank phone calls that are, gentle. Don't be lobbing things out the window. God forbid a drone may come and start peeping drones could show up. Was that kind of a trigger? Right. Trigger alert. Drone. Yeah.
Drones everywhere.
Drones everywhere, and not an information to find, right? But yeah, like I've heard a couple things. I'm tempted to say something, but I don't know. Why bother having FBI if they don't want to tell us what's going on?
Roger says, I remember making prank calls.
Hey, Robert Downey Jr. used to come over here and make prank phone calls to what we called the old man. It was so mean, but it was so ongoing, and it was so much fun. Oh, it's like a mosquito bite you want to scratch. Call him again. Like, I swear Robert would go. Oh, Robert, if you're watching, please don't ever blacklist me. I really want to work again.
What the hell is reindeer food? I don't know that one. What is it?
I think somebody may have watched it's the girls like her video. Reindeer, maybe. Reindeer food. Maybe she's referring. Who knows? Little Twisted, a boy or a girl? I'm a bad
girl.
A girl. She's referring to. This show is a mess.
I don't even know what it is.
Neither do I. That's the good news, I think. Oh, that improvisation class really paid off, Mom. I'm so proud of myself.
I'm not asking. Mary's not here right now. What do you mean, Mary? Educate group. What the hell is reindeer food?
I don't want to know. Mary went shopping.
Mary went shopping.
Fast. Right. We've got like, and then he's feeding the youngins turkey, thinking that like there's going to be a tryptophan event and they're all going to just like knock off. I'm like, hi, turkey's really good. Don't stop doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm trying to make him go to sleep with tryptophan, trippy fan. I've got some trippy fans. I don't eat them though, and they don't make me go to sleep. All right, so now that I've seriously derailed myself, drones, peeping toms, right, pointing it out the window. And I actually did get some stuff. I don't remember the date. It's on the hard drive someplace, but I've got literally hundreds of videos. There's a video in the Dropbox file that I sent.
I can't even believe y'all don't know reindeer food. Y'all got to feed them and say, what the hell does that mean?
I'm like some city slicker. All I know about Christmas is that, like, reindeers piss on the mushrooms and then eat them, and I don't know, and they all go nuts, and this is why reindeer flies, because Santa Claus got high.
Santa gets cookies and reindeers get corn.
Why do my mind go right to Cheech and Chong and how there was corn in there for texture?
I don't know. Or the famous psychic from UK, Tor.
We give Tor. Yeah. You know what? There are deer that actually, my friends do walks up at the Lake Hollywood Reservoir, and they'll bring carrots. My friend Karen Dahl, she did my makeup on Rock and Roll High School. She's the one that like kept the lady with the peach away from my face. Joanne was her name. I can't remember her last name. It's probably better. Anyway, yeah, and then Robert Downey calling the old man. That's what. Like, there's that. The prank. It's the old man. He'd answer and he'd go, hello, hello. Like, he couldn't talk. And so Robert would just answer and go, hello. The old man would go, hello. Robert would go, hello. And this is how at 16 years old we amused ourselves.
Wow.
There's also a cassette tape someplace. I sent it with a boyfriend back to England because he thought it was funny and thought it would be funny for the alternative comedy circuit, which it probably would have. And then years later, when I asked what happened to the cassette, he said, I have no idea. I'm like lunging through the phone now, because if I had that cassette right now, oh my God, Robert would be really sorry. Actually, he might celebrate. I don't know. Some pretty funny stuff on there. Oh my gosh, we're just okay. I've got some granola. Is that good? Stick some
That actually
corn.
sounds good.
Like anything sounds good to me right now, because all I've eaten today is like a spoonful of yogurt this morning, and then I think I forgot to eat because I was busy making content, repurposing my Aliens music video, because somebody said the New York Knicks are doing okay, and then they're in the music video playing basketball. So I thought maybe it would behoove me to hashtag the New York Knicks and send the Aliens for tryouts. I don't know.
Right.
Something will stick eventually. Yeah. All right. Well, so back to orbs, because I'm all over the place. Prank phone calls, orbs. What else have we covered?
Reindeer food.
Reindeer food. Corn and some cookies. Maybe that's what we're going to have for dinner. Hey, Lorna. Wow. All right. So yeah, let's get to the orbs. That one, let's not show the one that you had queued up before.
All right, here's the next one. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, so I was in my bathtub doing a Stephen Greer meditation, I think. And I come out like in my bathrobe.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah. And there's Dr. Greer. I was preparing to do a CE5 protocol, and I had done the meditation. And I'm in the bathroom meditating, so this is what's going on. So when I get into that zone and I go into the no place and nowhere, I'm in the same nothing. I actually love his meditation. What's that? Oh.
That was right before you walked out.
Yeah, well, just wait. Uh-huh.
Wow.
And I'm going to my phone to look and see if there are any. So I haven't seen yet. Now I'm looking. I'm opening the app.
Now become aware that silent awakeness whereby you can perceive your own self.
And this guy like said, "Oh, that's just dust." I'm like, "How is that
No,
dust?
dust don't fly like that.
That's not. How is that dust?"
This consciousness, this pure spirit.
Like, and then there are multiple.
It is that universal consciousness.
He's going off about universal consciousness. Like, is it any surprise to you that this is happening as he's talking about that, and I'm listening to him, and my mind is. There you go. The media shower.
In the universe. It is that awakeness whereby you are awake at this moment.
That's pretty cool.
You know? So the CIA apparently has information on that. Like, so when I say I have orbs, I'm not talking about these weird, like, people are saying, oh, there's a blue orb in the corner and it's jinn. And it's like, I don't think that's what's happening here. You know, I don't feel like gin vibes. I don't feel like there's some kind of like payoff where I'm telling the orbs what I want out of life and they're giving it back and I'm in some weird like negative like oh, hi Lisa, that's my family. That's family from down south. Yay. Hi. I actually, it's funny now, more ADHD derailing. I'm an only child. Both my parents are only children. My dad had a first cousin who didn't pull that nonsense, nor did he get into the entertainment industry. He went and married and then went into the army. He married somebody named Bootsy. Love Bootsy. And he went and had like 5 kids with Bootsy. A few of which have now deceased, sadly. But so Lisa is related somehow, but you know, I'm the city slicker with no family, and then I have a ton of family, and in like Manassas and Virginia, yeah, so many cousins. Like, and I got invited to a family get together. They have them every July. And I was told that if anybody passes you clear liquid, that's, quote, sipping liquor, honey. So don't be guzzling. It'll make you sick. And I thought, what do you mean sipping liquid? Wait, oh, you mean you make your own? She said, oh, yeah. These guys hunt. They keep the meat like they can. They do all kinds of stuff that are, you know, ancestors out like Little House on the Prairie, man. So like imagine my surprise at finding out I had somewhere between 50 and 100 cousins that I had no idea. I thought I was just this little lone Curtis person from the Ford family, and that was it. No idea. And they got in touch with me by writing to a manager friend of mine, Dave Barham, at a company called The Firm back in the day. They were trying to help me out a little bit. And so my cousin Madeline, I guess, went on the IMDb, and the lady at the firm was like, Liane, don't answer crazy emails from whack fans. Don't do it. And I'm like, you know what? The information she's putting in this and the names this is good. This is good intel. So I'm going to decline to follow your advice, and I'm answering. I'm so glad I did. So glad I did. You know, it's nice to know you've got extended family and an open invitation to go drink sipping liquor and then meet like lots of people that are actually biologically related. Who have a completely different background. You know, I'm sure I have a lot to learn from all these people. Seriously. So that's something that I'd like to explore a little bit. Aren't they? Yeah. See, I've actually made friends with a couple of mine, and I've got a project that I'm developing around around one of them. Yeah. Funny how that works. I have not gone to a family gathering yet, so I haven't sipped anything. Really? Are you potty trained?
Yeah.
Litter? You don't like.
Oh, Lord.
It's a question. Come on, if somebody wants to be adopted, I need to know if they use the toilet or if they need cat litter or what's going on.
Do dishes.
Okay, well that's bordering on like indentured something. Poncho's adorable. Okay, well a little twisted. Like maybe your gal. She thinks you're adorable. This is like a budding romance right here on my show. I like it. Riding the frequency, adopting Poncho. I like it. So, you know, have you come across orbs like that before, Grizzly?
Yes, I have. It's pretty neat.
And what was the consensus in the environment in which you were orbed?
Well, dust, you'll see a bunch of them, and they all fall naturally to the ground. Yours are illuminating, pulsating, and zigzagging and going different directions. That's not dust.
Yeah, well, tell the forensic video analyst downstairs. He doesn't like it when I tell him things. He's an ex-detective, Irish New York street cop. What? You didn't know I was a matchmaker, did you? Uh-oh, what was that noise?
Laptop,
No, I
battery
wanted to
saver.
ring the doorbell. Watch, it's going to be like 7 o'clock and he's going to call and be like, okay, you guys going on in half an hour, right? Because I think he's mountain time. What's Arizona? They don't do daylight savings.
Oh, that's 3 hours behind.
Oh, well. Okay, maybe we shouldn't keep talking about how Clive's not here. But that's okay. It just gives us something to which to look forward, right? In the future. In some timeline. So, yeah. Okay. So when you have encountered orbs before, what was the situation?
People's homes. We caught them in the daylight on the streets, in alleys.
I mean, if you look carefully at my music video, The Aliens Are Here, there's a spot where I say quantum physics would be great, and the alien guy is like doing this, and I forgot to put my shoes on, so my bare feet are showing. Talk about sloppy editing, but it just makes it funnier, I think. Anyway, clearly I do this to entertain myself. It's really kind of oh my god. And I also very clearly it's working. But yeah, there you can see an orb. Like I was looking at the dailies, if you can call it that, looking back at the video that I shot and against the green screen. When my friend Mia and I were just doing test shots, the orbs were flying up and across. So they're in the living room. And then when David Adair was here, I brought my little minion thing, my minion cam in the living room to see if anything was going on in a different room. Sure enough, they're in my mom's room too. So what do you think? I mean, do you think it's I hate calling them the dead because that's just dumb. Do you think it's do you think it's a physical bodiless personality? I'll call it that.
Yes, I do, because we're made of energy, right? Energy cannot be created or destroyed.
Literally they're having a very extended out-of-body experience. Like I know when I'm OBE, I fly, like flying dreams and stuff like that. So maybe that's just what it feels like, just being completely free of the structure, the material structure. Just human bodies are so fascinating. There's so many different things going on. Like it's kind of like the universe, our bodies. I feel like the planets in the universe are like the cells of our bodies, and it's all just working so beautifully in such a divine, beautiful way. It doesn't have to think like, uh-oh, I better duplicate this cell now. And oh God, the liver cell is going to go. So, oh crap, there's the lung cell. Like, can you imagine if we had to keep track of everything that's going on in our systems?
Right.
Or if the universe had to like micromanage? It's not how it works. It's just pretty amazing how it does work, And I wish that information could be brought forward in a manner that doesn't threaten people, so that they could open their minds, to what they don't understand, because it's so important to be able to take information and be able to change how we see the world around us. Like, I don't know how else our species is going to evolve if we can't get a handle on that, I'm all for evolution and not being stuck. But yeah,
absolutely.
so, It's all very fascinating, all these things, and people are just so like sludge, backed up with misinformation, disinformation, programs. I was talking to somebody who said that their neighbor came over and it just didn't stop. It's like, yeah, and then I bought this and then I went there and then I was just like, and I thought, oh my God, that's like the thoughts in his head and they're coming out his mouth. And I don't think he's even conscious that he's just like the program is just leaking and there's no awareness of what's coming out. And I feel like a lot of people are like that still. And I wish for them something else, because that's not freedom. That's I don't know. That's just running a program, being run by a program and not being aware of it. Like, do I think they're giving or taking? Well, I think everything's an exchange. I think as soon as I pay attention to them, I'm giving them energy. And when they respond to me, they're giving it back. Reciprocal, law of reciprocity. I really need Nassim Haramein here so that I can get the mathematical equation behind what I'm saying. It's like I know what I want to say. I don't always have the vocabulary or the formal education to back up what I am saying, but I know what I feel. I know what I feel. Sometimes it's just easier for me to express what I feel, like in 3-minute musical bites. I'm working on expanding that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, just in general. So how has the orb activity been? Like, not orb, drone. Let's switch from orbs to drones for a minute. Like that was nuts. Like last night, I think I sent you a video last night or maybe it was this morning. Like I did a video live. So I don't think it was anything weird. I don't think it was a drone, because I saw spotlights spinning around and they were definitely in a pattern. There was an inner circle of things and then there would be 6 going around on the outer circle and then it would repeat. So it was something that was on repeat. It was over the river. It was going in counterclockwise circular motion, unless you're looking from above, and then it was going clockwise.
Right.
So like, quite honestly, I guess I'm just going to go for it because Clive isn't here and I just need to babble. And, this could be completely inaccurate. So I'm not saying this is what's happening. The idea that was tossed around, and I kind of don't want to say who, but if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see. I think what's going on is that there may be a missing nuke that our country can't seem to locate. It went missing. Something Ukraine, I don't know. And so these guys are trolling for nuclear dirty bomb signatures to make sure there's nothing going on in any of the big cities that could be a devastating event. Which kind of makes sense, and they're saying they don't know what it is because they don't want to scare everybody.
20 years.
So I don't know. I mean, that seems like it's plausible. My mom used to say how incompetent the military was when she had dealings with them. She lived on Wheelus Air Force Base for a year. And she said they were the most backwards, incompetent, unorganized, disorganized, misinformed. Right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. But I think they do that on purpose, because sometimes the right hand doesn't want the left hand to know, because it's convenient for the right hand to be all shh, which just doesn't make for a very cohesive, transparent, communication line, which then turns into this kind of craziness, you know? Exactly.
They're supposed to communicate for
I don't
important,
think she
yeah.
meant Nuki. I think she meant Nuki.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go find her battery. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah, because somebody has no power right now. Yeah. I'm hoping that Grizzly's power comes back, because he's got another show coming up after mine, and that wouldn't be good, would it? Now, no, it wouldn't. Yeah, so I don't know. Here, let me see. Let me minimize my screen and see if I can see anybody commenting. I don't know. It's telling me I'm live. I could view it on YouTube, but then I'm afraid that it's going to be bad noises and echoes. I have no idea what any of you guys are saying. But yeah, I mean, I do think that there's something going on, and I do feel like we should be informed a little better, and I do feel like things might get a little crazy. But I think the main thing I want to say is that people, if you can find some kind of inner peace, we don't really control what the government does and doesn't do, sadly. The people are definitely not in charge here, but we can be in charge of our own mental and emotional well-being, and we can make choices and do things and entertain ideas that make us feel whole and satisfied. And there are ways of self-soothing that one can go to that aren't self-destructive, and having a practice which allows you to not be in a fear-based state, so that when you do get information that takes you in either direction, that there's still something in you that processes it from a neutral standpoint, so that you don't go off the deep end in either direction. You know, I'm not saying that there's such a thing as too much joy. I don't think so. But, you know, time release, I guess, would be a good analogy, right? It's nice to keep an even stream if possible. And this is coming from somebody who's swung at extremes for a really long period of time in my life, you know, trying to be what everybody thinks, or what I think everybody wants me to be. It's just, life's too long and life's too short. But really, truly, like, finding some inner peace and having a meditation practice or some kind of practice that allows you to just not be scared, you know, and feel safe in your own mind, really. And when thoughts do come into your head that don't make you feel happy, or if you find yourself feeling stressed out, like, check what's going on here, you know, just check and see what's your self-talk. And wiring and firing new neural pathways has everything to do with catching yourself in those thoughts and redirecting your thoughts to things that you prefer. And that in and of itself will start making things much better all around. Because when you're thinking and feeling, your cells have little receptors that are receiving the information that are coming through your thoughts. I know it sounds crazy. I mean, not to most of my audience, but if anybody here is new, thank you for popping in. And I know some of the ideas that I discuss are not very mainstream, but I do feel like they are more accurate than what we've been told, you know? So I do my best to, if I'm parroting other people, then it's only because the information is of interest and it's a rabbit hole that I would like to go down. So if I ever say anything that's off, I'm here learning too.
We all are.
Yeah, exactly. So just be gentle with yourselves, because the news right now is just so nuts, you know. Like it hasn't always been. It has.
I'm trying to get in the camera with no lights. I'm fading.
Oh no. It's
Let's see here. We'll turn the background off, see how dark it is.
That's not so bad. That's not so bad. You know what? The light that's coming off of your screen is enough. Is your screen all the way at its brightest setting? That's what I do.
No power. What are you talking about? I'm in the dark.
He's got the power. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's got a generator. Hey, Amy.
And I got stuff to run shows with.
There you go. The important things.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yup. Just my little Christmas tree. Oh no. I got a Christmas card. I have to put it up here, because it's going to be Christmas soon. Christmas and Hanukkah are all happening. Like it's Christmas on the 25th, and then at midnight it turns to Hanukkah. It's
in
like,
the house.
What's up, Weston? What's going on?
I know power's been out for hours. I don't know what happened. There's not even no wind. So maybe it's an EMP.
Electromagnetic pulse,
Yeah.
directed energy weapons, frequency weapons. I mean, look, they that everybody talks about. Who's they? Like anybody who's in charge, they know that we're energy, frequency, and vibrational beings before we're physical beings. Like, and that's just the actual truth. And that means that, you know, when they use these frequency weapons, these energy weapons, I've got a friend who worked in Antarctica, and he'll continue to say that the machinery they have down there is technology that they understand / don't understand, and they'll just start pushing buttons, and then, you know, they devastate Christchurch with earthquakes because the frequency is going through the planet. Like it goes someplace. It does something. They didn't know what they were doing when they pushed the hydrogen bomb. They didn't know that it was going to be that strong either. It's like, but why do you?
They sure didn't.
Why ask why? That's just probably dumb too.
Yeah.
Wow, the vibe is kind of like, I don't know.
But you know what? Why lie to us? We're going to find out the truth like always, right?
Well, you know who knows everything? Those orbs that are floating around, because they're not constrained and they're not in there. They're in the all. Mm-hmm. So I feel like as soon as you leave the body and you fully integrate back into source without physicality, I think a lot of things become very apparent. A lot of information comes back.
Yeah.
I don't know how it couldn't. Don't know how it couldn't.
Harmless. They are
right.
They came out with me with the shotgun.
You know, you've got people, like I know people, I talked to somebody today who was saying, well, you know, like, and how about if one of those drones come over my house, I'll just shoot it. And I thought, okay, well, yeah, if it's actually a drone and it's not from, you know, if it's some teenager with a drone to insult our intelligence, they do that all the time. It's like it's sport for them. I don't think it's just a collateral thing. But
Yeah,
you know
right.
what? I think that they insult their own intelligence, thinking that some of us don't see what's going on and think emperor's new clothes. Y'all are naked, like, and you think you're dressed, right? And your junk ain't anything either. So maybe you should go put some real clothes back on and start telling the truth. Oh, government, you know.
That's all new to me, but I find it interesting with the vibrations part.
Well, think about it, like vibrationally, feelings, emotions. There's a guy named Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you're new to my my reality, Joe Dispenza, he explains it pretty succinctly. Yeah, right. They're harmless, but we don't know what they are. That's because if they would just tell us that the deal is actually that there's a missing nuke, like I think that they treat us like children who, I don't know. I think most people out in the world just want meat and potatoes. And when things start getting complicated, nobody wants to think. But I really feel like that's also something that's been beaten out of us. You know, they give us all these things to make us not think and turn into like watching TV, you know, vibes that come out of a TV. There are frequencies that come out of a TV that put you into a state, you know. Everything is vibration and frequency. Like solid matter is still moving at a very slow rate. It's slowed down so much that you can knock on it. But that doesn't mean it's not all moving, you know? They talk about your energy body, your astral body. People talk about being able to see auras. It's because we're energy before we're matter.
That's right.
Right. It's true, Trista. They have no faith in our ability because they're a bunch of scared dodos, you know? Like they think they're just projecting their own fear onto the masses. It's like it's just another projection of their own nonsense. You know? I feel bad for, no, maybe that's not the right vibe to throw at him. I feel very supportive of people like Tim Burchett. He's actually trying, and I watched the Stephen Greer, the new documentary last night. I spent my $12.99 to watch it. Battle for Disclosure, I think it's called. Billy Carson's in it. A couple people. Eric Hecker, all the whistleblowers talk. And I don't understand. I mean, that's I do understand why, because if mainstream actually chose to speak to people who were informed, then there'd be no, I don't know, continued disinformation. They like to keep us guessing, but like people like Stephen Greer could end that. He can tell us what's going on. He's been briefed. You know, there are
Sure.
people who could tell, but they never interview those guys. They only ask the people who are like sensationalist, writing books, David Grush, this, that. And then the idea that, again, they're telling, they ask questions and they say, well, I can't answer that here. I have to go and answer that in a skiff. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the NDA that you signed is no good because what they're doing is illegal. And so you don't need a skiff. Just speak up, you know? So these guys are just so twisted and everything's been so perverted that people aren't even aware of what the actual law is. He doesn't need a skiff. He can answer all the congressman's questions. And yet the program is running them. They're not thinking clearly. And if they do think clearly and do go squawk, we're back to tweepy, tweepy, terminate with extreme prejudice. But I think too many people know, and I really pray that these whistleblowers that he's talking about, Stephen Greer, who are actually working in the Black projects, who actually have removed stuff from on site and have brought evidence out. You know, all the Benedict Arnolds of Lockheed and all these places. You know, can you imagine how stressful it must be to work there and see what you're seeing and be told to be quiet? Like, that's just damaging to people's psyche a little bit. God. There must be a drone or a Winchell's Donuts opening. The lullabies of New York City, to which I fall asleep. Crazy people screaming. I'm just waiting. It's a loud one too. That thing's all the way up Broadway. But still. But yeah, I mean, working at these places, people like Emery Smith, who worked at Right Pat for Sandia Labs, getting dishes full of stuff, flesh, not knowing if it's human, not human, till he was done looking at it and sending it back with little notes like human, not human. Like, and then what are they doing to these beings if they capture them alive? Like, it was an electromagnetic pulse that downed those things at Roswell. And I don't know if that was accidental that time at Roswell when they downed 2 craft. But then they figured out that electromagnetic pulses down these things. So then they developed it to do it on purpose. Like, the things that we do to these creatures is completely inhumane, most likely. You know, when I started drawing my things, like, I did a little speciesism campaign. Like, what if they do decide to announce themselves and show up and walk the streets? Like, it's going to be District 9. We are not
that movie.
We're not a friendly race. I mean, some of us are friendly. But it all goes back to the programming. And programming is what? Concepts, ideas, things that you believe in here happen out there. As above, so below. As within, so without. It's like these simple ideas, and yet things still continue to get complicated, which is just a low down dirty shame, you know?
Right.
So I'm hoping that, you know, just like monkeys who are cleaning their potatoes. It's like they all say, well, how did 100 monkeys? And then on the other island, the monkey, because thoughts are things, they go into a field. The field is available to any conscious thinking being. And when the ideas are in the field and you've got nothing else going on in your mind, like a monkey who's got very basic, right? How is it not that the idea went into the field and then was somehow grabbed by the other monkey and then pulled through to make an action? I mean, I know when I write a song, I'm not like, I'm going to write a song about, I don't, like, it comes through. It comes through. It's nothing that I control. The only thing I control are, after the sounds come through, how they're arranged. Right?
Right.
So brushing your teeth, making a sandwich, we all create all the time, all day, every day. We have an idea, we act on it. Concept first, action second, material result last. Last, not first, last. It's linear. You don't need to be formally educated to open your mind and at least ponder these things. And they say the sign of intelligence isn't how much information you can remember. The sign of intelligence is, what do you do in a flash when something goes sideways? Like, what are you going to do? Freak out? Calm down? What are you doing? You know, as all over the place as I seem, when bad things happen, I get very calm and very methodical, like to the point where people would wonder, is there something wrong with her that she's not reacting? No, there's something right with me that I'm not reacting, because if I'm reacting, then I'm not thinking. Right? I'm not allowing the coherent idea to come through, and then allowing, like, giving myself permission to be open to, you know, because if I'm panicking, I'm not open. If I'm panicking, I'm focused on what's wrong. And then what's going to happen? More of what's wrong. It's going to come at me like even faster, you know? I'm so sorry to make your dogs. I have to mute you again.
I was trying to be like a dog, not a siren.
All men are dogs. What are you talking about?
Ah!
Sexist.
Oh, gosh.
Right, exactly. It's true though. And but that's who you want around you in problem time. Not the one that's going to freak out, you know? And a lot of calm people who seem really chill, the mouse comes in the room and they're on top of the table screaming like a little girl. That's not what we're doing. That is not what we're doing. It's not. So, you know, Christmas time in the city. Let's hope nothing wacky gets lit up. Let's hope it's just trees. The kind at Rockefeller Center. And if those of you who enjoy Mary Jane, light up those trees.
Clive just messaged. Yeah, he thought it was 5 p.m. his time.
Yeah, but you know what? He can come in if he wants right now. Tell him to come in now.
So.
Tell him to come say hello if he can. Wi-Fi issues. Yeah, you know what? Aren't we all? My Wi-Fi has been really crazy. I don't know. Let's blame the drones. Like, who knows? I mean, that's all frequency stuff too. Like, they're looking to see what's going on. They're using frequencies and right. What's Wi-Fi, Weston? It's frequencies, right? You don't wireless information being transferred through the ethers. How's that happening? It's like the same thing. Have you ever had a phone call and you pick up the phone and it's somebody and you say, I was just thinking of you. Like, how is that not?
Yeah.
You're picking up psychic messages. You know, we're a psychic species. We would have to be. Yay! Hi, David. Hello, my friend. Red Thunder. Yeah. I just knocked myself right off because David distracted. It's your fault, David. It's all your fault. He's so important. He makes me go off my train of thought. I was going to say something. Yeah, if we're not like, and I know people will come back and say, oh, there's a science and then this and that. Okay, but you know, I feel like we should really think hard about how when women have a baby and the baby gets hungry and you can be in another room or even down the block at a neighbor's, and if your baby gets hungry, your milk is you're gonna have a reaction because you are entangled with that child in the quantum. Okay, that's how that works when you've got two things that are 13 million thousand miles apart, and you do something to one and the other one responds the same way. So that is proof right there, even though you can't see it. Like if you can't see Wi-Fi, then why does everybody have to, and I'm not talking about you, Weston, why people have to push back at that? Calm down. New information seems to freak people out and threaten something. And I feel like that's because people don't identify with being a fractal of source. They identify with their personality and what their mommy told them. And, you know, if that isn't true, then what happens? Your mom's stupid. You're stupid. Like, what? It's an ego thing. It's an ego response. But that's not, has nothing to do with what's going on, you know? That's why personality, like your physical body is like your physical body will tell you what's going on subconsciously, health-wise. So if your physical body is the representation of your subconscious mind, right? It goes back to David's big brother talks about this all the time. We've got receptors, and our thoughts transmit information, and the receptors in our cells pick that up and then turn it into health or disease or whatever's going on. It's not magic. It's how it works. And then you've got the American Medical Association, who calls it pseudoscience and keeps thumping the drugs. Okay. And I've said it before on this show. Like, if you take Lipitor, you can't have grapefruit, but grapefruit does the same thing that Lipitor does. So you tell me. Pharma is nasty stuff.
Right.
You know, it's nasty stuff. It just like Wi-Fi is a replication of consciousness, I feel like pharma is a replication of nature in a test tube, in a petri dish. You know, and I'm not saying that the day that antibiotics, penicillin was, is it Madame Curie? Madame Curie. That's not a funny name because she's been curing people with her curious ways. That was funny. It's my wordplay. It's my low-key wordplay because I'm not all whooped up right now. I was kind of whooped up last week with David spinning around. Here, maybe that'll help the energy. Okay, everybody, get up and do something like wee! Like do right? That's good. You know what? There's a guy named Randy Weitenheimer. I wish he would come on my show. And he told me when things are messed up and you want to shake up your energy and like wake yourself up a little bit, get on the floor and roll around like a log, back and forth. It works.
Yeah.
It definitely. I'm not going to do it right now, although I could. Who wants to see me roll around on the floor? Don't answer that. Right. That's exactly. They take nature and turn it into a chemical, but everything's a frequency. Everything has its frequential equivalent and mathematical equivalent, most likely. You know, that goes back to Nassim Haramein. That guy's brilliant. Go watch his interview with Aubrey Marcus. If you guys don't know Aubrey Marcus, highly recommend his talk with Nassim. And a kid named Andre Duquam, also really, really, really good podcast called Know Thyself. You know, he talks to a lot of very interesting people who are very tuned in and dialed into what's actually going on and not the nonsense. And they're not sensationalist either. They're not, you know, sometimes the titles of their shows are a little clickbaity, you know, but you got to understand that a little bit in these times. The things that get people's attention have to be sensationalistic, which is also a learned behavior, a programmed behavior, you know. And I'll say that advertising in Hollywood has taken advantage of that, you know. So, well. The kids are pretty quiet. Did the tryptophan
Yeah.
kick in?
Evidently, they're upstairs. So
You knocked out? They're upstairs? They go to sleep? Are they in bed? Yeah. Hold on a second. Oh my God, no. Clive is saying he's disappointed in himself. Can you hop in right now for just like 5 minutes and come say hi? Will you? Please, 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 please. I'm dictating live. And now I'm calling him. I love making prank phone calls, but this isn't a prank. Let's see if he answers. Hi, are you there?
I made such a rookie mistake.
No, I love you. It's okay. Wait, you're live. We're still live. He's calling himself a rookie, ladies and gentlemen. He is not a rookie.
Hold on.
Come on.
Give me
1 second. 1,000. Come on, man. You're gonna get it. Come on. We have a guest. Yay! So excited. I'm hanging up on you. I've hung up on better.
Hold on. Okay, let me get situated. I think. Okay.
As soon as you click in the StreamYard, he'll hear you. Look, I love
Okay, hold on.
this isn't the first time we've done production meetings online on my show.
Let's see. StreamYard, where'd that link go?
It's in
It's
the Facebook thread. I'm gonna hang up and let you do that because
Okay.
it'll be it'll easier if I'm not listening to you. I think.
Okay. Fine.
Take the pressure off. All right, bye. We were gonna do live at 5 with Clive from the Hive, but it didn't work. I'm so excited. He's gonna say hi. It doesn't take much to get me all excited and happy. I'm like a little kid. You know the guy I used to listen to talk on Sundays? His name is John M. McLean. And on Facebook, what it says on his about thing is he's learning how to be a marvelist, you know? And I remember one of his Sunday talks. He said that a lot of adults have forgotten how to marvel at the world, you know, and see magic in everything. Butterflies, silly things,
right.
Things that make you happy, right? You know, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, instead of being scared, why don't we choose to marvel at stuff? Find something fun. Find something that makes you feel lit up, like when you were a little kid, right? You know, I act like a little kid all the time. Some people say it's not attractive. Do you think I care what they think? I think they've just, you know, grinched themselves and they lost their little kid somehow.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, man, that's no fun. I'd rather have Arrested Development. I laugh perhaps more than should. You know what? Laugh lines are definitely better than frown lines. And I would rather have somebody laugh at something inappropriately than just have angry, scared people around me with no sense of humor. Oh, that's just, they don't suck. I try to have compassion for these people because, like I said, it can't be fun to be that guy.
Right.
It can't be fun to work at Sandia Labs. It can't be fun to be a whistleblower. It can't be fun to, you know. But even some of these whistleblowers have found a way to joy, you know. It can be done. It's a choice. It doesn't undo the yucky stuff, but it definitely makes it a little more tolerable, you know? Oh, man. Uh-oh, what's happening? Did you just stretch your neck? What are you doing?
Yeah, stretching my neck.
Do you need a chiropractic adjustment?
Uh-oh, he's live.
Uh-oh. Live is live. What?
Why is this in the way? Okay. Let me see if I can hear.
Clive is like a movie star at my house. Literally every time I turn my TV on, like his voice is there and then the picture comes on. I don't know what
I can hear you.
I hear you too.
I'm here. Oh, I am here. Hello.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Listen, first off, I apologize. Oh, I knew it was 5:30, yet I put 5:30 Eastern. My bad. Let me clear that up. 5:30 Eastern. I still put 5:30 my time. So my apologies to everybody. I am truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. How's everybody doing?
I think everybody's great. We've had the all over the place Liane monologue that's gone on this whole time. We got to see some orbs. Like, hey, so dude, what does the CIA say about this stuff? Like, is it disembodied? Is it our what we call dead who are no longer in bodies, just flying around visiting?
Well, it kind of looks like, and once again, there's some documentation that is out there. You can look Black Vault, you can look FOIA records and stuff, but it looks like these orbs may possibly be us or people from the past that could be us, our old ancestors and stuff. I did a interview about 6 years ago with somebody, and it changed the way I looked at the orb situation and stuff like that. But yeah, it does look like these orbs could be us. They've always said it. You even hear people in some of these documentaries and stuff, they're like, oh, we know what the orbs are, and they kind of move past it so quickly. You know what I mean? So
I feel like it's not sensationalized, and it's because it's not an alien. Nobody cares. It's like, oh, it's just a dead person, whatever. Like, what? Come on,
but still,
man.
that's kind of, if anybody thinks like that, you gotta really, take the time to sit back and adjust, because I mean, these are, orbs. That's something that people are seeing not only around the world, but they're capturing it like right in their homes sometimes, not just in the sky. We have a very interesting video. I believe it's in Land of Legends. We're not sure if it's an orb. We're not sure if it's a portal. In my opinion, I think it's a portal, but it could just be an orb, but it's on ground level. It's in my buddy's backyard, and the cool thing about the video is it's stationary. You can see him moving the camera, but it's stationary right on the bank of his there's like a wash. I don't know if any of you have been to Arizona, but there's a lot of old ancient riverbeds and washes and stuff, and in this area in specific. And like I said, I think it's in Land of Legends. You just see it. It's just sitting there. He's moving the camera. It almost looks like it takes over his camera, and it's like locked in. It is one of the weirdest minute and 24 seconds of film footage that I've possibly laid my eyes on. Everybody that I've showed this video to, they have no idea what it is, and they become so drawn to the video. And I do know it's in the Portal Encounters too, because I think it's a portal. Gosh, I'm not trying to.
Right. Well, okay, if it's solid and it's not doing that, like I showed the video of when I had just gotten out of the cold bath. I was doing the Stephen Greer meditation, getting ready to do a CE5 protocol. You do a meditation before you do that, and I really wanted to bathe. And you know me, I got to do everything all at the same time. So, okay, I'll kill two birds with one stone here. I'll bathe. I'll meditate in the water. It's always good with the negative ions. And then the orbs, like I get out of I know what I'm doing off camera. I'm getting out of the bath and putting my bathrobe on, and this orb, like super bright, comes through first, right before I come out of the bathroom. And then I go and I walk to my night table and I pick up my phone and I open the app to see what's going on. And as Stephen Greer is talking about one consciousness and one mind, you can hear him doing the guided meditation out loud. And then when I start looking around, it turns into like this meteor shower, but they're bright and they are snaking around my room. And grizzly meteor shower, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not the same thing as what's in your buddy's backyard. So I think it's probably portals and something else.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Like the stationary ones maybe are portals. The ones that move around maybe are spirits, for lack of a better term. And then there's the weird stuff, the orange things that look like they're on fire in the sky. And then people that complain about there's a blue orb in my room and I think it's a djinn, which would be, into other lore.
You know, when it comes to orbs, I do think if there's going to be some sort of disclosure, or especially a full disclosure, I think that orbs would probably be the first thing on the list. It just seems like when it comes to orbs, there's a schedule, just like with this UFO and UAP activity that I've learned right here in Arizona, especially. It's almost like they're on a work schedule. And I would say, from here in Arizona, from like 5:30 in the morning to about 9 o'clock in the morning, it's like they're going to work. We see them consistently in a concentration. And then during the evening hour from like probably the same times, 5:30, let's just say 9, it's like they're coming back. So
you're describing rush hour. It's like the 405, like between 7 and 9, and the 405 between like 5 and 7 at night. It's like the Orb freeway of commuters or something.
Especially living in Arizona with the mountains and the energy that's coming from the earth, the more I investigate this topic, it's just the stranger it gets. And you're absolutely right. It's like there's a rush hour or something like that. And we are noticing that it's not only in the sky, but it's coming from the mountains. So when we set up our cameras, we'll have cameras in the sky, but we'll have full spectrum cameras on the ground recording things. And there has been times where we're seeing something in the sky, but we're also recording things that are happening on the ground. So it's almost like they're in two places at once. But the figure that is captured it's similar to who we are. I mean, there's a head, there's arms, there's legs. So it just makes me, once again, in my opinion, if I had to, say, hey, what do I think it is? I would point to people that are consciously traveling, and they don't know exactly what they're doing, or they don't even know what they're doing at all. There's been tons of cases out there where somebody says, I have this reoccurring dream, or I have visited places that I've never actually set foot into, and then 5 years later, boom, there's the same place that they've been dreaming about. So there's this connection to orbs and us in this physical form. We just have to find out, especially with astral travel, when we do that, is that something that's visible with the naked eye, or is it spectrum cameras, or just cameras in general? But yeah, like you said, it sounds crazy, but yes, it's a rush hour traffic. We're also noticing they put on these demonstrations and shows. I think I put one of the videos that my buddy Steve Barone shot out in Vegas, where you see these two lights just bouncing back and forth in the sky, and
it's
then
like
one shoots
playing.
off.
Maybe they're playing. Maybe, you know what? Like, who's to say that when we're in dream time and we're traveling around, that we're not orbs? Maybe it's people in their dreams. Maybe everything goes back to consciousness. I feel like, Clive, like it's all one big giant idea that's, and I'm not meaning this in an inappropriate way, playing with itself.
Yeah. No, I have to, let me add on to that. Not only consciousness, I think it's a mixture with energy, because energy doesn't die. We lose somebody, we just lost them in the physical form. This body is just a vessel, which also makes you think about the documents that Bob Lazar said he came across in the 80s, where this body is just a vessel. And we are here inside. I'm not too much of a Bible, reader, but I think it says that we're made of both mud and light. And, that light is within us. They talk about it all the time, let your light shine and stuff like that. So maybe, just maybe, we are seeing with our eye, true conscious travel. We're just, they haven't told us for so long that, and even look at Jesus, you know what I mean? The transfiguration of Jesus. He went up to Mount Hermon. He had people there with him, and they saw him turn into light. You know what I mean? And he went, and then other lights came and began to interact with him. And then he came back and he was
sounds like what orb party at Liane's room. Like, it sounds like the same thing that's going on in my house all day long.
I mean, you never know. These could, I don't think that the orbs are necessarily, and you could classify it as a unidentified aerial phenomena, whether it's up in the sky or in our rooms. It's something that people are actually, there's tons of video of orbs in rooms. I had my cousin who's not really a big believer. He's like, man, I was just sitting down and next thing I saw these two bright lights and they were in the room and then they left. Man, it sounds like you saw an orb.
A lot of people are catching these things on their ring lights. I'll tell it again. That a friend of mine, my buddy Randall, he sent me a video that I can't share because it's somebody else's private experience. But the ring light is on in the bedroom. You see a bed that's made, that's empty. Somebody had died in that bed earlier that day. And they're watching the ring light for whatever reason. The grandma and the kid are watching the ring light, and they see this orb appear, and it starts like bouncing on the bed. And they're going, and I'm going to make up this name, Jimmy, is that you? And then it started bouncing even crazier. Like they were talking to it. He had just passed away that day. And then it went around the room a couple of times and went whoosh, out the door. And you hear the voices of the women going, he just left. Did you see that? He left. Like, and you can't see goosebumps, but you got goosebumps all over my body talking about that, which makes me feel like, again, energy. When anybody starts speaking a truth that's just so resoundingly isness, like the goosebumps go up. It's your energy body responding to the information coming out of your mouth. Like, how could it not be? Because the words aren't, the information isn't the words, the energy of the information, and the words are being used to transmit the energy. Even the words and the information is energy. It just has to be smashed into words for us to communicate here, like in this.
Absolutely.
But the dumb thing is that I think we're all psychic too, like by nature. How does a woman's breast get engorged 3 blocks away from the baby when it's hungry? Like, how is that not? And if that is like by nature who and what we are, why is that not pursued? Like, the pursuit of happiness would include understanding who and what we are and how we work. So at a really early time, this starts happening and your body starts responding to the third part. It's an entanglement. Like, it's
yes. I agree. I mean, women's intuition,
obsessed with the physical. It's crazy.
Yeah, you got women's intuition. You have the tether that you talk about between mother and child. There's things that are just happening in the world. I've had some experiences when I was younger where I think I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade, and I was going to get on the bus, and something told me, I don't know what it was, something told me not to get on I couldn't get on the bus. I couldn't move. And the bus driver so what happened was I got on the next bus. As we're driving up Central, we see that bus that I was going to get on, and the people are waiting. Come to find out, there was a bomb on that bus. So, there's something there, like you said, like it's psychic abilities or something that just kind of, sets off those senses. And it's like, there's like the person I think about all the time is the person that survived the 9/11 attack, hiding under the stairwell or something when the buildings fell. And the guy, like, all that little section stayed and protected him. And it's like, in the midst of all of that chaos, what made you sit there and wait?
I don't know. But you know what? We got to go now. But we're going to do this again. Will you come back and talk to me again? We try this again?
Anytime, I just have to remember 5:30 Eastern and not Mountain Standard Time. That's what I got to remember.
All good. It's all good. No, it all worked out just fine. I'm so glad that everybody got to see you and that they don't think I'm crazy and lying. Like I have
my apologies. We will do this again.
Friend, Clive. No, go find his content. It's so good. It's so good. Look up Clive Christopher. Please do yourselves a favor. It's all so well done and so well researched. Like I really want to have you back because I want to talk to you about your process.
Thank you so much. And I'll definitely be back. So thank you for even considering me.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my God. So Grizzly's got another show coming up at 7. You guys tune in. It's Julian, our lovely friend Julian, the psychic. And I guess that's it. Thank you for spending your linear time listening to me babble. Grizz, thanks so much for hosting me on your platform. And we
Absolutely.
will see you next week at 5:30 on Riding the Freakwency. Click that like button and I'll see you soon. Mwah!
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Frequency.
I'm the Liane.
Are you ready to ride the frequency?